This is the time of year when resolutions start to crumble like a house of cards. But what if it's not about the weight or the goals? Instead, what if it's about how you feel? Hey, guys, welcome back. We are in month number 2 of documenting John's fitness journey as he works to transform his droopy dad bod to a lean, mean, chiseling machine. Welcome back to Men Talking Mindfulness, everybody. We're going to take on this bonus episode. We're doing one every month. It is February. John is here. Thank you, John. You are our subject. I'm interviewing you today. How's it going?
Oh, man, it's going well. Starting to see some objective progress. So I've had this subjective, but it's good to see the numbers changing.
Yeah. Well, give us some of that history. So, where you are, where you were, where you are now, and what is the goal? Like your weight, fat percentage, lean muscle, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So just a very brief background is in November, I was sitting at 234 pounds, wasn't happy with how I looked. Again, this is not, I don't want to fat shame in any shape, form, or figure, or fashion rather, but I just wasn't happy with how I was looking, and I wasn't happy in how I was feeling. Like I was carrying that extra weight around. It was exhausting. So in November, 234 pounds. Then in January, right before our last episode, January 3rd, I was 225 pounds, so down 9 pounds since November. But I was at 29.2% body fat and 151.9 pounds of lean muscle. Okay. And then I just had another DEXA scan. So what's today? The 13th. So 6 days ago. And I was down to 210 pounds. Wow. And 22.9% body fat and 154 pounds of lean muscle. So, and then since last week, I've lost another 5 pounds. So overall, I'm down almost 30 pounds.
Wow.
And I've gained lean muscle mass. But in between 2 DEXA scans, I went from, 10.3 pounds of fat. I went from, I forget, but basically I lost like 12 pounds of body fat, and then gained 2 pounds of muscle. And then, so that's the fat that was, a lot of it is on my body that you can see, but over and above that, I've also lost visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs, which, that can affect your health. I mean, it all can.
Sure.
In January, I had 95.65 cubic inches, 3.26 pounds of visceral fat. And then in February, I had 62.91 cubic inches. So down by a third, down to 2.14 pounds.
Significant. Yeah.
Yeah. So really significant.
And that's really healthy too. I mean, I'm not a big expert on visceral fat, but I know that's the fat around your belly. That's like the beer belly kind of fat. And that actually has an impact on your organs. Like I know fatty livers is a problem. Fatty liver is a problem.
Fatty liver, fatty heart. I mean, it's just around all your organs. So it's huge. It's metabolically harmful, right?
Right.
So losing that much visceral fat in that month, it's over and above, how I look in the mirror, and even how I feel, as far as movement around. It's making my organs operate much more efficiently. My heart is going to be healthier. There's a lot of other things here. So, and then coming, so where was I? Goals. So
the goal.
My goal is to drop my body fat by August. So here we are in February, drop my body fat into the single digits.
Wow.
And then that's all will be done ideally, while increasing muscle mass. So,
right. And you're trying to get down to like 185, 190.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And 8% body fat. Where you're at right now, 26%? Is that right?
Yeah, 21.
21. Okay.
22.9%.
Okay.
So,
you got a lot of time.
I decrease by 2%, 3% per month.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing the right things to make that happen.
Yeah.
But one thing that you talked about on our first episode in January was it's not really about the weight. It's about how you're feeling. So like, how
Yeah.
are you feeling? Like,
Yeah.
not just on this journey, but also you, John McCaskill, the father, the entrepreneur,
Yeah.
drop us in there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling lighter. I mean, certainly I'm feeling lighter weight wise, but I'm also just feeling lighter in like in a lifestyle way, I guess. I feel like I have more energy. I feel stronger, sharper. Running, I've been running again, which is one of my passions from a long time ago. And I actually ended up hating it when I was weighing 234 because I was like, man, this hurts. But now I'm getting back to where I can run well. And the weight, it's nice to see those numbers again objectively, but it doesn't mean much if I still feel sluggish, right? If I lost all this weight and still felt like crap, I'm like, well, what's the point? But I'm feeling better. I'm moving better. My energy is more dialed in. And overall, I guess a good word for it is I feel capable. I feel more capable. I'm capable of, I'm playing with my kids. I'm capable of doing pull-ups. I mean, Will and I worked out a couple of weeks ago when he was here, and I was able to keep up with Will. So
you were kicking my ass on those pull-ups, dude. Like I just actually hit the gym before this episode, and that's one thing. Like, I'm getting ready for the Spartan race, and one thing that we're going to have in the conclusion of this documentary and John's fitness journey, not only the physique challenge he's going to do in Denver and on August 19th, right?
August 9th
in Denver, which we're going to be there to document, but we're going to have capture all this excitement from all of you listening, and you want to get your ass off the couch and into better shape. We're having a Spartan race in Dallas, Texas, just outside, actually called Granbury, Texas, about 70 miles south of Dallas on October 19th is when we'll be there. That's head to mentalmindfulness.com for that. But
you can join us. That'd be awesome.
Please join us. I know it's going to be fun. We already have a couple people. We have 5 people signed up, I think, John, which is pretty
really
fun. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, me and you, and then Sam Platt. Shout out to Sam Platt. I hope he doesn't mind. Shannon Hanvey and Bobby, I believe, are both on too. Signed up.
That'll be fun.
So some friends of the show. They've been on the retreats and stuff. But all right, so let's talk. So you talked about anything about your kids and like being more active with them, as you've gone through this journey and lost like already a tremendous amount of weight.
Yeah, dude. I live at 7,500 feet, and Will, you felt that a couple of weeks ago.
Wow, yeah.
And getting around with extra weight on is exhausting. But yeah, I'm able to go to the playgrounds and run around with them, and not just like jog. I can sprint again, which is which is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've got the energy. Yes, my joints don't hurt. Yes, but I also feel like with this change in diet, my focus is better. Like, there's not as much brain power being spent to digest a bunch of crap, right? I'm eating more healthy, so true. It's my brain. I feel like I'm more focused when I'm with my kids. I'm more present, and so I'm physically more able and capable, but I feel like I'm showing up better for my kids and my little daughter, my youngest one. You know her. We won't name names, but I mean, she's just a little adventurer, and now I'm able to keep up with her in a whole different level of fitness. And I put this out last episode too. I wish that I could say that I'm doing this 100% naturally. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not. I'm doing testosterone, and I got corrected on how to pronounce this other one. It's Spartan, is this medicine that you inject, and it helps to naturally release human growth hormone. And I'm shout out to the men's health clinic here that I'm going to. It's called Game Day here in Colorado. Cool. They've been tremendously helpful, and also like, Will, you're keeping me accountable, but they're checking in on me too.
Yeah,
and good. That's been hugely helpful is having that. But that TRT, that testosterone, I think that's helping me also with my joints, and the Spartan is helping with the strength, and I know we're going to come to this later, is my sleep. My sleep has been dramatically changed.
Well,
so
I don't know about like, I mean, what you said about like, you are doing, you naturally, it's like, I mean, I feel like we're in a really gray zone about naturally. Like, why wouldn't you, going on this adventure, take advantage of all the organic products out there that help, to enhance, mental cognition, that, sleep, that energy levels, like, all like, why not,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess when I say naturally,
Yeah, I
I
get it.
guess
I get it.
if they tested me for any type of performance enhancing drugs or
Right.
anything, I'm sure I would pop positive. But I'm not taking, steroids or anything illegal. I'm
Right.
taking everything that's maintained and uh, you know, being released publicly and it's available to everyone. So
Right. Right.
ultimately, I think it's making me better, not just again physically, but mentally as well.
Yeah,
So
well, it all works together, right?
yeah,
I mean, you're
yeah.
getting, I think I wish is there a study out there? And if there is, please send the information, as far as like, visceral fat, and just overall body weight and like mental clarity and like suffering, what I mean?
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure. I'm
yeah,
sure there is.
it's like, right, right. I mean,
Yeah,
so like, what you're doing in order losing that weight is just having, this domino effect or ripple effect within your body, but also you're seeing it in your family life, you're seeing it in your business. So,
yeah.
way to hang in there.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
What else? So, what's inspiring right now about this journey? Like, is there anything?
Yeah, I mean the challenge itself. Yeah, you guys, you will hold me accountable, but also our audience.
Yeah.
Again, the folks at the clinic, and I've got some other friends checking on me on LinkedIn. I posted originally when I started this thing where I was physically, and I had like 10 men reach out and say, "Hey, let's support one another." And this is a little accountability group, and we're holding one another accountable there. It was pretty awesome. But I also, I guess the challenge itself, and I know what it feels like to be in peak shape, and then clearly I also know what it feels to not feel like that, and I definitely prefer the previous. I prefer feeling like I'm in shape. I prefer the way that I operate, the way that I show up for myself, for my family, for my friends when I'm in good shape. Again, it's not about fat shaming. It's just where I'm at personally.
Yeah.
And then there's something also about committing to something, to a goal that's hard. Especially one where you kind of bring your A game daily, and that lights my fire, right? Like I travel a lot, and I was in Dallas on Monday, got in late, worked out after work, and then early in the morning, the next morning, got up and worked out because that fire has been reignited in me. So that's, I guess, what's driving me.
Well, you used a keyword earlier, capable. And that would be inspiration for me. I'm just more capable. And who doesn't want to be more capable?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like with every, if you're really going after it with every moment of your day, all the time in your day, like, but not just, but also physically as well. Like I think it's just a keyword, capable. And if you're not feeling capable right now, it's like, what are the first steps you can take out there that are listening in order to become more capable?
Right. Right.
Let's, excuse me. So let's get down to some of the challenges you're potentially having. So is there anything or things or life that's getting in the way of you remaining consistent? Because that's super key here for all this progress you're making is consistency.
Yeah,
so what's getting in the way?
Oh, dude, consistency is the number one thing. It's like anybody can work out hard for a week, but to do it for a long time is going to be a completely different thing. And to stay consistent, I think the biggest challenge to that is time management. No matter how disciplined you are, life happens, right? Life gets in the way. We've got work, we've got podcasts, we've got I've got kids. And, all the responsibilities that come with kids. I've got dogs. I've got a beautiful bride that, not saying that she's a task, but there's time that I want to spend with her. And it's very easy to kind of let things slip. But the key is that consistency, and then having non-negotiables. Like I put it on my calendar. I'm looking off to the side here on my screen, and I have it on my calendar. We're interviewing Tim Kennedy next. And right after that, I'm going to the gym because it's on the calendar. And if I put it on the calendar, it's going to happen. So, I put the training on my calendar. I put food prep on my calendar. They don't get put aside, but I would say time. And I think that's probably going to be my biggest challenge next to wanting to eat good food, or not good food, but yummy food.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's my other biggest challenge, but time is absolutely it.
Yeah. Okay. So just like trying to find the time, keep the time commitment, and just keep
it's
showing up.
It's easy to be like, hey man,
day.
I'll work out later, or
exactly.
I'll skip today and work out tomorrow. But time. and discipline. I guess those two go hand in hand.
What have been this past month? Like, what have some have been of your biggest obstacles, struggles this past month? Anything?
Well, I would say since the beginning, and maybe a little bit even more this last month is balancing intensity and recovery.
Oh, there you go.
I'm guilty of being an all or nothing guy. Like, hey, and we've talked about this on the show, right? Before, like if I don't work out, then I want to go and eat ice cream and eat a pizza.
That's right.
But if I am working out, then I'm going to eat, my eggs and broccoli, and that's it. So balancing intensity and then recovery. So like I want to push hard every day, but I also know pushing hard every day is not the answer. I have to recover. That's where the growth happens, right? In muscles. Like I could go do pull-ups every single day. I could go do squats every single day.
Right.
But then there's not going to be any growth. I have to recover. And that's not just in the gym too. It's like coming back to sleep, right? I'm dialing in my sleep, trying to do some mobility. So if Teresa listens to this, Teresa Larson, our physical therapist friend and business partner, I'm working on some mobility, and then I think I'm much more in tune with my body, which comes to meditation. A lot of what we talked yesterday with Kristen Ulmer, and she said, mindfulness should be called mindlessness, where you're getting into your body more. Right. And I think I'm doing that. I'm getting into my body more, and that's helping a lot.
Yeah. Well, good. And it's funny how it all works together. Like and it's a fine balance too. It's like you're not just like losing weight, but you're also joining this physique competition, which requires a certain amount of physique, which requires a certain amount of muscle, right? Which requires a certain amount of rest, right? But also in order to get down to this, ideal 8% body fat, you have to like, watch your calories. You have to like make sure you're putting in calorie, burning activities, but also finding the rest. So it's like, you're really putting a lot of pieces together here and making them work. So congrats.
It's fun.
Yeah. I'm glad you're having fun with it. It's really, a lot of people might take this too seriously or become obsessed, and then they're not having a good time. And it's like, we don't want this to cause like depression, but like, so really quick, are you on target with your goals?
Now? I've got my goals on my big ass calendar right here. I'm actually ahead of my goals. So
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, food. How about, I know I was there. I'll tell a little story. So we just had our podcast summit a couple weeks ago in Colorado Springs, and we had really sweet. I loved our Airbnb, John. It was like a really sweet spot. David was there.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, so John has us over for dinner the first night, and they have pizza, right? And and then John really didn't. No, we shouldn't eat too many slices. Then we have leftovers. We bring the leftovers back to the house. The leftovers are there the next day, and John like picks up a slice of pizza, and I feel not bad. Like I'm not like an authority figure to you. I only want to support you, but I want you to have a good time. And you just look at me with a fucking slice of pizza in your hand. It was like, I'm eating this, right? You just like stuffed it down. Because like, again, like those cravings are real. Like you talked about, pasta being your nemesis. Last time, or just even these cheap carbs, right? So how are these cravings going, and are you having new relationship or newfound kind of inspiration around them or something?
Yeah, man, pasta's still a thing. It's still a challenge, and my kids eat butter noodles all the time.
Oh, I know. They're really good.
But I'm way more intentional about eating.
Nice.
And it's not just about what I'm eating, but why am I eating it, right? I'm eating for performance now, not just eating. And that doesn't mean my cravings disappear, but I think that eating for performance it's changed how I eat, and it's helped me to manage those cravings.
Yeah.
But pasta's still a battle.
Yeah.
But now I plan for it. I try to stay away from it. If the kids are eating pasta, I eat enough protein to where I get full on the protein, and then I'm not as tempted. But I'll tell you, Becca and I went out on a date last night. We went to Texas Roadhouse, big, steakhouse. I love the steak, but they also have these rolls there.
I
Bro,
know. They're fucking so good.
bread, man.
With the butter on them. Oh,
yeah,
God.
that like or like honey butter or whatever.
Ugh.
That's my biggest challenge right now is
Yeah.
that warm, fresh bread. It's been calling my name lately. So
yeah.
bread.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, well, again, same thing like sugar, just like sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's like, so let's talk about, okay, so the actual physique challenge on stage.
Yeah.
What's your feelings around that? I mean, you mentioned you're still kind of scared as much as you were before, or like now it's really kind of settling in. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah. Well, after speaking with Kristen Ulmer yesterday, on our show about fear and being scared, I don't think I'm scared. I think I do have fear, but what was her equation? She said like
suffering emotional equals discomfort, right?
Emotional discomfort times
resistance.
Emotional resistance times suffering is
stuff. Here it is. Sorry, it's suffering.
Emotional. Yeah.
Suffering equals discomfort times resistance.
Yeah. Emotional discomfort times resistance equals suffering.
Right.
And she said, the emotional discomfort is fear, right? You can kind of replace those two. So fear times resistance. And I don't think I have the resistance anymore. I think it's exciting me. I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
There's still a question like, can I do this? How can I make the best result or get the best result? You know what? I'm not scared of not being in shape. I know that I will get into good physical shape. I think what I'm most dreading is doing this posing, like the flexing.
Yeah, I know.
I had lunch with this lady yesterday who is a retired bodybuilder, and it just came up in conversation. It wasn't even planned. And she's like, yeah, I'm a retired bodybuilder. I was like, oh, no way. I'm signed up for a physique competition. She's like, have you started posing training? I was like, what the hell is that? It's like, oh yeah, you got to learn how to pose in the mirror. And quite often that's the hardest part it's exhausting. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to get a posing coach. And she's like, I'll help. So posing, I'm scared of.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, I guess like, is it, or us, we're going to find out next month or whenever you see her start posing. Maybe it's like, it's hard to hold those poses. You know what I mean? You really got to flex the muscles. You know what I mean? And like that, I would imagine requires a different type of strength, a different type of awareness in that muscle. You know what I mean? To make them kind of pop, I guess. Like you're going to learn all those things. Oh, this journey is getting even more exciting.
Yeah, we'll track it on Instagram and all those crazy things.
I know, right? Yeah, it's a good idea, man. I want to see some of your, or let's do maybe poses. A journey. Yeah, like your early days of posing, and then like how you become hopefully more of an expert by August.
Yeah, right.
Cool. So, any big excuses these days?
I mean,
anything that's getting in the way.
I think we covered it a little bit. Time. I don't have time. Is an excuse, but I think that's bullshit. I do have the time. I just have to prioritize it. I have to put it on the calendar, make it a non-negotiable. I think that and the diet, those are going to be the biggest challenges throughout. For the diet, I'm being very methodical. I'm using that Macro Factor app, and that's been a huge help. Having that objective data, because I'm a data nerd, as you well know. I can adjust my macros on the fly. My sleep is better. It's been improving. I know that I'm more tired, so I'm getting better sleep. I'm working out that energy, but I'm also on that Simorelin and my Garmin. I no longer wear the Whoop. I fell off in a Hawaii trip when I went diving, but I wear the Garmin and it's tracking my sleep, and it's showing that there are better numbers, but there's still room for improvement.
Okay.
Better sleep, more sleep, better recovery, which ultimately leads to better results. But
the sleep is so key. So, I mean, we hear it all the time. We've had multiple episodes on sleep, and it's like, and here you are experiencing the benefits of like really protecting your sleep.
Right.
Yeah. And things keep progressing, and like, I mean, it's interesting to hear your lean muscle in your body. I think it jumped like 6 pounds over the last month or something.
2 pounds.
2 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's significant muscle. Difficult to put on.
Especially while you're losing weight. It's very easy to lose muscle while you're losing weight.
Yeah. Right.
It's working. It's working.
Right. I mean, everything, like the food, the sleep, and you just monitoring your progress as well. So
Yeah.
fantastic. How about your meditation? How about your meditation? Is that helping you at all? Like,
yeah, for sure, man. I think, the meditation is, like I said before, it's helping me get into my body. It's making me more aware of the feeling of the progress, right? I'm more aware of the energy. I'm more aware of the clarity. I'm more aware of the focus. I'm more aware of the presence with my kids.
nice. Yeah.
So meditation is helping, but I think it's also getting easier to meditate because of that clarity. So yeah, the meditation is
That's
awesome.
a good point. It's a really good point. Yeah. And like, and if anybody out there, if you want to experience that level of clarity, or at least start, we have our meditation course starting on April 27th. This is the next team that we're going to run through. So if you're interested, head to mentalkingmindfulness.com. 9-week live meditation course. We have 10 sessions on every Sundays at 4 p.m. for just 1 hour. And we meditate as a group, and we try to continually maintain consistency or develop consistency through a group learning environment. So it's a lot of fun. We've done almost 36 people over the last year. So we're excited to have some teams go through our meditation course this year. So sign up, mentalkingmindfulness.com. Sure. Yeah, John and I are both teaching. So we're having fun.
Let's wrap up there because, for our audience, we've got Tim Kennedy coming on in like 3 minutes. We're going to interview him. Tim is a former Special Forces and UFC
He's coming
fighter.
On at 3:45?
He's coming on at 3:45 your time. So he's coming on in 2 minutes.
Fuck. So okay, we got to go.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. But, thanks for the support, Will. Thanks for the support to our listeners. Love you guys. Love this journey. It's so much more fun having you guys along with me on the journey.
Awesome.
We'll catch you next month, and I'll get a new DEXA scan. Yeah. Hopefully more definition in my physique and better sleep and recovery. So we'll discuss it next month. Yeah,
and you can check out more of his journey on our Instagram, Men Talk Mindfulness. Men Talk Mindfulness. So thanks everybody. Thanks, John.
All right.
Good work.
All
brother.
right. Take care.
All right. Man. Peace. Thanks. Bye.